Modded. Right guys, welcome to episode 24 of Show Me the Modded Thing. Got a lot of good blasters to show you. As usual, the deadline is the 13th of the month. Just before we go on, a quick announcement. My channel has hit 500 subscribers. Yay! And I said when I was going to do it, I was going to have another cosmetic blaster draw thing. And I am going to do it, and I will do a draw in the next few days of all my subscribers. As I said before, if you have made yourself private, I can't see your name, so I can't put you in the draw. I'm sorry about that. And also, I will do the draw in the next few days, but I won't get around to actually building the blast until after October is over. I've got a big Mad Max cosplay in Western Australia I'm doing a lot of work for at the moment, and I just don't have the time to, you know, properly do a really good job for somebody. I am flat out, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, let's get on with the blasters. The first one is from Adam Dravis, and he calls it his Caliburn 660 because he's printed everything himself with 6 walls and 60% fill. He said it's consistent and beautiful, and it certainly is beautiful. It looks gorgeous in these images. And it's hitting 370 FPS. Wow, that's pretty good. He sent a video, but unfortunately for some reason my software won't play it, or it's corrupted or something, so I can't show you the video of the darts passing straight through the target. It has a perfect seal, an acetylene plunger and ram base in aluminium. 70 centimeter at 13mm Curie barrel, stacked K26 and 788, he thinks, because he's not quite sure. A magnified optic in the rear flips out for normal red dot use. That's pretty impressive. Again, that's in a video, and again, unfortunately, I can't see it. A modified RMAX shroud, riser, extendable stock, and spacer stock. There's a lot more in it, he reckons, but he can't recall, and who cares? The way it looks, it's beautiful. It is such a well thought out blaster. The colour selection is magnificent. It looks really, really good. Very safe with all that orange. Just looks like something you'd see in a science fiction movie. Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. Okay, moving on. Okay, here we have one from Marcus K from Germany. Those of you who know him, he does some pretty specky stuff. He's got his own eBay site, or Etsy site. Got some really nice stuff. This one, I must admit, confused me when I first saw the first image. I thought it was some sort of strange double-pointed knife, but it was just the camera angle. It's an off-brand shotgun that he's modded up. He says he loves it. Doesn't really give me much in the way of details, except to say the basic file of the heat shield is available on printables. That's it, in case somebody wants to build a fancy version. It's a cute little thing. Yeah, I'm assuming the points out the front are supposed to be blades, but he's made them nice and thick and chunky so they're not going to accidentally hurt somebody. But yes, double barrel shotgun. I'm assuming a break open. Yes, he says it's a break action. So yeah, cool. That's the sort of thing I need for this Mad Max build if I could ever find one. Very nicely done, mate, and as usual, impeccable build quality and colours and everything. Not something you want to take in the street, though, I don't think. But yeah, very, very nicely done. Rightio, next up we have one from Nils A, and he's a man of few words as well, but what I've got here, he says, it's formerly an X-Shot Crusher, now changed into a Warhammer 40k inspired beast called Blood Valkyrie. Did some easy internal mods, AR removal and plunger O-ring seal, painted it all with a brush, which is impressive as it is, and that's all I know about it. Now, I've seen these things around and they look a little bit flimsy to me, but people do some good work with them, and when you look at it painted, it does look very, very nice. And he's done a really good job of this. It left some orange tips for safety, of course, and I'm assuming it's the same old deal with these Gatling things that they just spin around a central barrel and the darts shoot out, but it's still a good effect. Very handy little thing. He says he's going to be building a diorama for this, so I'm assuming that's going to be like a display stand between going out and blowing away the opposition. But it's really nicely done. Even got a little, what do they call them, those tokens that the Space Marine wear on a badge, or purity seal. That's it. Very nicely done. It's really good to see these mods that people do in Warhammer 40k because they come up with some great ideas. I saw one recently for the Fortnite AR that Nerf puts out. Absolutely, I dislike the look of it intensely, but somebody's chopped it up and made it into a bolter and it looks really good. And I happen to have one of those, so that's going to be a bolter. Okie dokie. Moving on to... Right next on the line is Ronald D, and he's done a Trailblazer. And he's actually given me some information, so that's a good thing. He says, I cut the front shorter, moved the nice shell peach, which I cut down to the side with the gap and worked it in with epoxy and sanding. Cut out the dart post and added a rear loading slot. Then cut off the weird Trailblazer grip and added one from a Chaos Meteor. Fixed it with hot glue. Did a realistic paint job, and therefore it's not used in public. And it can be rear loaded with short darts or front loaded with long darts. Very nicely done. This is a really good looking blaster, even with just this basic sort of monotone metallic colour scheme. I like the detail in it a lot, and it's been brought out with the way he's weathered it. The mod for the rear loading darts is a very good idea. I've got a couple of Magnuses. I'll be doing that for this Poxer Clip thing. Yeah, it just looks really, really good. This is quite a handsome looking blaster. I'm going to have to hunt myself up one or two. Very well done, mate. Very well done. Right, our next bit of plastic perfection is from Coffin Black Media. He says it's a A-Team Blue Rifle takedown, averaging 130 FPS with a K25 spring and a heavier catch spring. Slightly thicker O-rings coated with silicone oil and plumber's tape. Luxurious simulated wood grain. And here's the best bit. Weathered using cocoa butter as resistant. Acrylic paint for the rust and exposed metal, and sponging on a nice black wash for a bit of grime that adds that classy touch. And it's very, very nicely done. The wood grain handle looks excellent, very heavily weathered, and a very simple process, I would say. Simply a dark brown base and then dry brushing, heavily dry brushing some lighter tan colour. But that's just my guess. He hasn't told me that. The rust and the wear and tear is pretty interesting. A very high contrast with the blue, but it still looks good enough. The Rival Takedown, now I think that's the rival version of the Rough Cut, which I consider the best looking bad guy's gun. Two of those strapped to your back, brilliant. And this is really, really nicely done, particularly like the orange muzzle. So it's just for safety's sake, but it still blends in with the colour scheme. It looks excellent, excellent work. I'm going to have to find me a Rival Takedown. God knows where though. Right guys, next up we have Papa Bludgeon. And he's sent me some info, and I'm going to read it to you now. Brace yourselves. Wake up, samurai. We've got a city to burn. I checked my cyber deck. It still works. I'll need it later on. Then I checked my nail clipper. The slide works great. Being string powered means it's silent. Perfect for an edge runner. The retention pin allows for quick barrel changes. It's real handy for someone who gets in a lot of firefights. The short barrel allows for easy storage, but at the cost of range. Mind you, most of the time I only use it at close range. Picatinny rail allows for optics to be attached. It's always good to have options. Papa Bludgeon. And I say, I don't understand. I mean, this is a weird looking thing. As near as I can tell, it's a printed 3D pistol grip with a cylinder from something using like a crossbolt type propulsion with an elastic string. And that's fair enough. It just is a weird design. But I suppose it would allow for ease of loading, either from the front or the back with that drum sticking out. A very compact, handy little sidearm. I'm assuming you'd have to take a little care not letting your wrist get in the way of dragging on the drum, but other than that, pretty interesting idea. I wish I had more information for you, but I don't even know if he designed it himself or printed it himself. So, there you go. Papa Bludgeon with some of his madness. Here we have one from Orwells Warning, and it's a green and purple thing. And I don't know about you, but for me, green and purple means alien. But this apparently is called the Hulkinator. It's a Borderlands-themed video game Nerf rival, wired for 2 3S LiPo XT60 connector, new switches and 18 gauge wire. The Montana spray paint and a salt rock weathering look, and the black line cell shading, which is almost Orwell's Warning's trademark. It again, just another really nice, interesting blaster. Internal electronic mods, nothing on the outside by the looks of it, but it doesn't really need it. The paint job just sets it off. I particularly like the hexagonal detail up near the buttstock. He just does some really interesting, sort of otherworldly looking things. And this rival Zeus, that line just always looked really unusual to me. Probably because it's, you know, the way they've designed them to take fireballs and being so slimline and, you know, straight shoulder through, no magazine sticking out anywhere. Very nicely done, and yeah, you can't get over his painting. It's really, really nice. Simple, straightforward. Green and purple. This thing comes from another planet. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Right, and the last one today is one I've been holding on to. I really want to talk about this. I spotted this the other day on a Facebook post and reached out to the fellow in question, who goes by the name of Leroy L, and he says it is a Sweetheart Storm FB1 Nerf blaster. It has a metal bicar, which is the muzzle apparently, I just looked that up. 3 DP adapter ring for handguard, replica metal Giselle HK416D handguard. I mean, this guy is serious. Paint is Krylon matte sand khaki brown for the snake skin, and you may, if you look carefully, you'll notice there seems to be 2 different tones of brown sand on the body in foregrip. Maybe he didn't have enough, who knows. Elements, accessories, Element Nigel laser designator, replica Surefire Mini Scout tactical flashlight, Unity Axon remote switch. For what, I don't know, but okay. EOTech XP3 and magnifier combo, sling swivel mount. This guy is really serious about his nerfing. I mean, this is easily able to pass for a real handgun, so I'm assuming he's very, very careful with it. Yeah, it could get you in a lot of trouble, but apart from that, it looks just beautiful the way he's done it. The painting, the weathering, there is some there. It is quite minimal, but it does exist. Looks like he's done a small wash on it. Yeah, and everything he's just packed on it. He must have some absolutely fantastic games, and I would say rarely ever missed by the looks of it. Very well done. You know, I can't find fault with this. Everything just looks so tied together and perfect. It's the sort of thing I aspire to have something this good one day. That's pretty good. I love the way he's done the snakeskin too. It's a straightforward, easy thing to do, and it looks so good in this context because it hasn't been overdone. This is brilliant. Really, really well done. Okay, guys, that's it for this week. See you all again in a month's time, and I'll have that draw of the winner of the new blaster up in a few days. Just got a couple of quick things I've got to do first. See ya.